Hi, this is Dale Buchanan, the host of Puppy Talk Podcast. Before we get started today, I wanted to let you know of my new book, The Complete Puppy Training Manual. It's available on Amazon in 4 formats: Kindle ebook, paperback, hardcover, and audiobook. You can find it on Amazon right now. It's called The Complete Puppy Training Manual, and I will put a link in the show notes of this episode. I'm Dale Buchanan, and this is Puppy Talk, the podcast that offers advice on how to raise a happy, healthy, and obedient puppy. For more training tips, visit our website at puppytalkpodcast.com. Welcome to episode number 41 of Puppy Talk. I'm your host, Dale Buchanan, and today I'm going to talk about creating a schedule for your puppy. This might be one of the most important things you can do for a new puppy, is creating a schedule and a structure for them. Because without an itinerary of what their day is going to involve, they get very confused very quickly. So when you have a schedule and a structure for your puppy, you're setting them up for success. And what we're trying to do here through the information in this podcast is creating a healthy, happy, obedient puppy so that they don't get stressed out and anxious and fearful and aggressive and create serious behavior problems. We want your puppy to be very well behaved, obedient, and disciplined. So let's get started. Everything I talk about today will be listed on a blog post on our website, puppytalkpodcast.com, and I will put the link to that blog post in the show notes. The first thing that you want to do when you wake up with your puppy is immediately take them outside. You have to get them outside to go potty right away, especially if it's a very young puppy. We're talking 8 to 16 weeks old. They are going to have to go outside immediately, and there is absolutely no option to this. Your puppy has to eliminate after being asleep all night. That's a number one thing. The second thing that you want to do after you take your puppy outside to go potty is a little bit of training. Bring them back inside, and I suggest a few minutes of sit, down, stay, come, good boy, good girl. And then you feed your puppy. Give them their meal, food, and water. Immediately after they finish eating, you take them outside again. After that, they're going to eliminate probably pretty quickly. Don't be surprised if they go poop and pee again right away. The food and the water goes through puppies very, very fast. After that, you bring them inside and you play a little bit, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes. And then you put the puppy in the crate. I know a lot of owners are saying, but I don't want a crate. I don't want to cage my dog. It's mean. It's cruel. And it's not. My dog Dixie still goes in the crate, and she's almost 2 years old. She loves the crate. I've created the crate for her as a safe place, a place to go that she loves to be in, and it keeps her out of trouble. She's a mini Australian Shepherd, and she will chew up my entire apartment if I let her loose. I go to take a shower. She goes in the crate voluntarily. I close the door. That prevents her from running around the apartment and chewing things up. I leave for a few hours to train some dogs. I put her in the crate, or I take her to doggy daycare, or I keep her with the dog walker so that she can watch Dixie and take her out every couple of hours. There are many, many options, but you don't want to leave a young puppy roaming around in the house. That's a big mistake. Back onto the structure of the schedule for the puppy. We've got this basic structure already, which lasts about 45 minutes to an hour. The puppy goes potty, you do a little training, feed the puppy, a little bit of play, take the puppy back out, put it in the crate. Just repeat that throughout the day. But my puppy is in the crate all day and it's torture. No, it's not torture. Trust me. Puppies this age, 8 to 16 weeks old, need to sleep 16 to 18 hours a day. And as a dog behavior consultant, I can tell you that the number one reason why puppies develop serious behavior problems is lack of sleep. Lack of sleep and lack of structure. They really need to have both. And if they don't have it, there's going to be a big problem. So make sure that your young puppy is getting plenty of sleep. As your puppy gets older, 4 months to 9 months old, it still needs 14 to 16 hours of sleep a day. And as a puppy gets into adulthood through adolescence, it's still going to need 12 to 14 hours of sleep a day. That's how they grow. That's how they relax. That's how they rejuvenate their body. And just like adults, you exercise, you work your mind, you work your body, and you sleep and you rest. And this is very important. All living creatures do it, and we have to make sure that your puppy is getting plenty of sleep. The next thing that you want to do once you create the structure is you want to make sure that your puppy knows what's going to come next. This is conditioning for the puppy. Let me give you an example. When I'm getting ready to leave the house, Dixie knows when I say, okay, I got to go, she is going right into the crate. Or I say, let's go outside. She runs to the door and sits right next to her leash, which is hanging on the wall. If I say, we're going to go to the dog park, she gets really excited because she knows what's going to happen next. She's going to go to the dog park. She's going to get to play with other dogs and see a lot of people. We're going to doggy daycare. Oh, she gets real excited again. She knows what's going to happen next. This is good for her. And she doesn't bark and have the zoomies and jump around. She just knows what's coming next. Or let's go for a car ride. She knows we're going to go outside, so she sits by the door and waits. These are things that your puppy will get accustomed to over time. And this takes time. So when you start developing this structure early on and have a schedule for your puppy early on, they get crate trained easily, they get potty trained easily, they get disciplined easily, they get obedience easily. And there's very little chance of having any problems with your puppy. On the opposite end, the worst thing that you can do is have no schedule for your puppy, no structure, no discipline, no obedience, and your puppy does whatever they want. I have phone calls from potential customers every single day about this topic. And it's a disaster because the puppy gets in 9, 12 months old, and it never learned the right things to do. So what happens is the owners are telling the puppy, no, stop, down, off. And they're touching the puppy and they're pushing it off the couch and they're pushing it off themselves. And they're doing all of this reinforcement. But what's really happening, they are reinforcing the behaviors they don't want by giving the puppy attention and giving the puppy a lot of vocalization. From touching and talking to them, the puppy thinks, I'm going to do this again because I'm getting all of this attention. Yippee! Let me keep jumping. Let me keep barking. Let me keep jumping on the couch and jumping on them. This is fun because they're giving me attention. So this is how I get attention. No, don't let that happen. That's a disaster. You have to turn back time and start over when you get to that point. So don't let that happen. Create the structure, create the foundation from the very first day. That's what I did with my almost 2-year-old mini Australian Shepherd, Dixie. I had her at 10 weeks. I created structure the very first day that she came into my house. She only peed in the house once. She never barked in the house. She never did anything bad except for chew things because she is a chewer. But I can manage that by keeping her supervised or in the crate. It's very easy. Other than that, she's a perfect dog. So do these tips that I'm suggesting with creating a schedule and a structure for your puppy so they know what's going to happen next. They know what comes after training. They know what comes after the walk. They know what comes after the feeding. They're already accustomed to it. If you have any questions on this, you can contact me through my website, puppytalkpodcast.com. And if you find this information useful, feel free to buy me a coffee. I really appreciate this support. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, Mendota Pet. They make the best leashes and the best toys for dogs and puppies. Their link to their website is in the show notes. Have a great day. This is Dale Buchanan, host of Puppy Talk Podcast. I have an announcement of a new book that I just published called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback, soon to be available on audiobook. You can find out all the details of this book using the link in the show notes. It's called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's a comprehensive book with a simple and effective way to help potty train your puppy, and it really works. Check out the link in the show notes.